morning, students. Welcome to the Checkpoint Online Sessions. I'm Mr. Charles, and this is the first lesson of week 5. Unit 6, Making Choices, Workbook Exercises. Please go to page 40. Question 1. Let's read together a story about the stone cutter. Once upon a time, there was a stone cutter. The stone cutter lived in a land where life of privilege meant being powerful. Looking at his life, he decided that he was unsatisfied the way things were, and so he set out to become the most powerful thing in the land. Looking around his land, he wondered to himself, what is it to be powerful? Looking up, he saw the sun shining down on all the land. The sun must be the most powerful thing there is, for it shines down on all the things, and all things grow from its touch. So he became the sun. Days later, as he shone his power down on the inhabitants of the land, there came a cloud, which passed beneath him, obstructing his brilliance. Frustrated, he realized that the sun was not the most powerful thing in the land, if a simple cloud could interrupt his greatness. So he became a cloud. In fact, he became the most powerful storm in the world, or the world had ever seen. And so he blew his rain and lightning, and resounded with thunder all over the land, demonstrating that he was the most powerful thing. Until, one day, he came across a boulder. Down and down he poured, and his thunder roared. Lightning flashed and filled the sky, striking the ground near the boulder. His winds blew and blew and blew, and yet, despite all of his efforts, he could not budge the boulder. Frustrated again, he realized that the storm was not the most powerful thing in the land. Rather, it must be the boulder. So he became the boulder. For days he sat, unmovable, demonstrating his power, but then a stone cutter came and chiseled him to bits. The moral of the story, sometimes the most powerful thing to remember, is that you already have everything you need. What are fables? Well, the word fable is derived from the Latin word fabula, which means story. A fable is a literary device that can be defined as a concise and brief story intended to provide a moral lesson at the end. This means that it's a story, short one, and concise. It can includes a introduction, body, conclusion, and then themes and characters. It's a regular story, but it's shorter and it provides a lesson at the end of it. Not throughout the story, like larger books, let's say, or larger stories. This one, at the end of this piece, you have a lesson to learn. Fables are described through plants, animals, forces of nature, and inanimate objects by giving them human attributes. As we saw with our story, The Stonecutter, it started with him being a human. He's a stonecutter. And then realizing that the dominance in this world is for the most powerful objects. So he became the sun, he became a star. And then he moved to becoming a cloud. And then he moved to becoming a stone back again. This is what human attributes given to objects, inanimate objects, or forces, animals, or plants. If we want to summarize this story in one line, this question could exist in checkpoint exam. You have to summarize basically paragraph 2, sometimes 3, of a short length or a relatively short length into one line. If we can summarize this story's events into one line, try to do that, as with all the questions to follow, and then figure out the answer as we do it together. There was a dissatisfied stonecutter, tried to become more powerful by becoming the sun, a storm, and then a boulder, but was destroyed at the end by a stonecutter. This basically summarizes the events of the story into one line or one sentence. Shakespeare's Macbeth that we did in the coursebook, it has certain one-liners or certain, let's say, monologue or dialogues that contain imagery. And each sentence that contains imagery is to be explained. So when he says, let light or let not light see my black and deep desires, what does this image mean? What do these words, not on a literal level, but on a metaphorical level, on the image level, mean? Light represents good people, and black and deep desires, these are, there's no metaphor or a great metaphor here. His black desire, black is associated with evil. Black and deep desire, so his intentions, is wanting to do stuff. Let not good people suspect them. So may good people not suspect his evil intentions. That's how it goes. The second sentence. Yet do I fear thy nature? It is too full of milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. The milk of human kindness, this phrase has been used at the beginning by Shakespeare, and then until our days, it is still used in literature to express his soft heartedness. Yet I do fear thy nature. Thy means your, right? Yet do I fear thy nature. I fear that you are. So I fear that this attribute in your character, this is said by Lady Macbeth, the wife of Macbeth, to him, that I'm afraid you're too soft hearted to take the first opportunity. To catch the nearest way is not literally hitchhiking a taxi or stopping a taxi or stopping to go into a way. This is him taking the opportunity to kill the king and become a king. You're too full, or your nature is too full of the milk of human kindness. The milk is associated with purity, associated with softness, with kind heartedness. So, yet I fear thy nature. I am afraid that you have a characteristic in you that is being too soft, too kind hearted, that you will miss this opportunity of becoming a king. I am in blood, stepped in so far that, should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er. These apostrophes, as we said in previous lessons, they shorten words to suit the rhyme scheme or to suit the length of the dialogue that Shakespeare intended, but the audience were used to such contractions. And these were used mostly by lower class people that they use these contractions a lot. This sentence means I am so guilty of bloodshed already that even if I stop now, it would be as difficult to go back as to continue. So he is stuck in halfway. It's too difficult to go back, it's too difficult to continue. Your wording do not have to be or does not have to be identical to mine. But as long as you get the hint of it, you get the gist of it, you understand the idea, you're good to go. I am in blood is not actually swimming in blood, although after killing he might be. But what he means is that his hands already committed the crime. And he is in that road of blood too far now that if he wants to go back or if he wants to stop, going back will be as difficult as continuing. So now he can't go back because going back is the same of difficulty as continuing. So he might as well continue. And he does continue, and he kills the king. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall the very firstlings of my hand. What do you think this sentence means? From this moment stays the same from now on. The very firstlings of my heart will do the very firstlings of my hand. This means I will no sooner desire something than I shall make it happen. This means that the first thing that my heart feels, I will make my hand do. This means I will not think thoroughly anymore. Whatever comes to my heart that my heart wants, I'll make my hand do it immediately. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his poor hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. This moral that King Macbeth now says after committing the murder and after his wife dies is of great value in English literature. And this summarizes many philosophical approaches that are concerned of humans' look towards his own life. And he means, and Shakespeare's words through Macbeth mean, let my short life end, out, out, brief candle. So there's a candle and it's short, and he's telling the candle, put away. Let's put out the candle. Let's like turning off a light. You put out a candle, you make it stop shining. What is life? It's a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage. Existence is indifferent and full of anxiety, and then it's over. So basically, our life, what Macbeth is saying, that our life is so insignificant. It's a poor player, it's a poor actor on a stage that goes right and left, that tilts the whole time like a candle, like a brief, short candle, and then poof, goes away, is heard no more. He becomes like a dot in existence. Apostrophes. Question 3. Look at the use of the apostrophe in quotation exercise 2. As we said, they are to contract either to fit the wantings of Shakespeare regarding style and rhyme and meter, or to appeal to the working class people, to the common people that used to talk this way with contracting. The question reads, put apostrophes of omission in necessary places in the sentences below. Then write out the sentence in a way which removes the need for the apostrophe. So basically, instead of saying there, you just say they are. Instead of saying it's, you say it is, and so on. The first sentence, he's finished his meal and now he's going to eat some of yours if you don't mind. Well, the apostrophes go between he and is. And this is not is, this is he has finished his meal, present perfect, and now he's going to eat some of yours. This apostrophe is that separates between he and is, if you don't mind. And how to get rid of all the apostrophes? Return the apostrophe s into has, return the apostrophe s into is, and return the do not or the don't into do not. Second sentence. She isn't sure that we'd make it in time if we didn't leave until after 6 o'clock. She isn't apostrophe after the N. Sure that we'd make it in time if we didn't leave until after 6 o'clock. we have to remove the apostrophe and put is and not, and remove the apostrophe and put we and would, because it can't be had, because after had we need v3. Here we have v, base form. After would we need base form. In time, if we did not leave, or didn't, we return it to did not, leave until after 6 p.m. We have 6 o'clock, and this could be whether you decide to choose if this is 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. But either cases, we need the O apostrophe C removed, so we go with p.m. or a.m. C. Don't imagine that I'm happy about your assignment being 3 weeks overdue. This one's easy. Don't imagine, apostrophe for don't, apostrophe for I'm, and there you go. Return the don't to do not, and I'm to I am. D. They oughtn't to choose wrongly, since they've been given plenty of advice about the do's and the don'ts of the situation. The focus of the book here in this sentence is on the do's and the don'ts. A common mistake committed by a lot of people is to put an apostrophe after the do, an apostrophe after the T. So it would be do apostrophe S, don't apostrophe S to denote pluralization. But pluralization for such made up verbs or nouns, like say for you, for example, to say I have, let's say, the triple V's, for example, the V apostrophe S is a common mistake. It should be just VS. This is, you treat this the way you treat any plural, that you don't put apostrophe unless it's possessive plural. But in this case, and in many of the common mistake cases, it's not possessive plural, it's just regular plural. You should know that the oughtn't needs an apostrophe, they've needs an apostrophe, and don't, the do not contracted needs an apostrophe. And then you out not instead of oughtn't, and then they have instead of they've, and do's and don'ts or do nots stay the same. E. The situation has steadily improved since the 1990s and isn't about to change its status now. The aim of this sentence as well is for you to know that it's here is a possessive pronoun and it does not need an apostrophe. So the situation has steadily improved since the 1990s, nothing to do here, and then isn't about to change, is not about to change. It stays the same, no apostrophe, so no contraction. The final sentence, it's a pity you didn't let me know earlier. Then I could have told you what you'd better do and what I'd have done in your situation. This one's packed with apostrophes for you to realize what contractions are being made. It's a pity you didn't let me know earlier, then I could have told you what you would better do and what I'd have done in your situation. It is instead of it's, pity, and then did not instead of did, and then could have instead of could have, and then you had better do instead of you'd better do. Since this is all in past, this is all in third conditional situation, that it's all done right now, nothing to do. But if anything had changed, something could have been done. Fact versus opinion. Jared, the candidate for prom president, says, you all know me. I'm the coolest guy in the school. I'm a natural leader, a natural athlete, and I was born to be prom president. I've been captain of the most successful basketball team the school has ever seen. We are undefeated this season, and we beat our arch rivals, the Lodge, for the first time in 15 years. That's down to the leadership and skill of the captain, me. Academically, my results are A across the board, and the best unis are fighting over who will get me. Organizing the prom will be like a walk in the park. In fact, it will be done during a walk in the park. I can promise the best, craziest prom of all time. With my connections, I can pull the best DJ, hire the greatest band, get you the best light show. Trust me, with Jared in charge, you can't go wrong. And then Mina, another candidate for the prom president, says the end of year prom is the high point of our school careers. We have been looking forward to it for years. It really matters that it should be what you want it to be. I would listen to you all to hear what you have to say, to represent all the students, not just the loud ones. If you elect me as prom president, I will form a committee, which is the right and fair way to get things done. I've been elected as the class president for each of the past 3 years, so I guess I must have done something right. I've been captain of the volleyball team, and we've done pretty well this season. I've been offered a place to read medicine at Harvard, so you know I understand what hard work and commitment are. And I would put the same effort into organizing your prom. I know you're all looking for a great send off to launch you and your way to your brilliant careers. Think carefully about what you can trust or who you can trust and what you really want before you cast your voice. The question of whether you would vote for Mina or Jared is up to you. Why would you cast your vote to Mina or Jared and neglect the other candidate is up to you and your reasons. But the fact that we need to differentiate of what's opinion, propaganda of or on behalf of Mina and Jared, and what are the facts stated in these two pieces of speeches. For Jared, the fact stated that he is, in fact, a captain of the most successful basketball team. These are information or pieces of information we can attest, we can make sure of that he's a captain, and this is the most successful basketball team through the history of teams in the school. That they are undefeated this season, this is a fact, can be checked. And they beat the Lodge, the team, their long enemy or long rival, the Lodge, for the first time in 15 years. Again, facts that can be attested. He academically achieves A results, also can be checked and agreed upon by all teachers, all school records, the principal. He has in fear or the claim that organizing the prom will be through a walk in the park. So basically, what he said was it will be a walk through the park. This means that it's going to be easy. And then he says, in fact, I will do it while walking in the park. This is also a fact. Opinions, best unis are fighting over him. Well, the word fighting and best unis, these are up to debate. These are not agreed upon by a lot of people, or scientists, or committees. Organizing prom will be like a walk in the park. How easy organizing prom? This is up to people's tolerance, people's knowledge. So he cannot say as a fact that this is too easy. For example, lifting a feather from the ground is a fact that it's easy. But organizing a party is too easy or super easy. This is opinionated. This is up to the person's abilities. He promises to do the best and craziest prom. This can't be a fact because it definitely did not come true yet. So we cannot attest that this in comparison beats all proms before. And then this is crazier than all proms before. That's why this is opinionated. With Jared, you can't go wrong. This looks more like a slogan, like an advertisement to Jared, not a fact, really. For Mina, I would vote for Mina personally. For Mina, the facts are that she has been a class president for the last 3 years. Again, facts that can be attested, that can be testified for. She has been the captain of the volleyball team. Again, facts that can be attested. She's been offered a place to study or place at Harvard to study medicine. This, in fact, again, can be attested through email or through, let's say, regular mails with the university. Students are looking for a great launch to their end of school years and their careers in university. Again, this is a fact because all students all around the world, when they finish high school, they look forward to finishing it in a great manner. Any job, not just finishing high school, any job that you want to finish, if you are a decent person, you would want to finish it greatly because it's the end, it's the last cherry on your cake. You want it to be great, right? Opinions in Mina's speech is that this will represent all students, not just the loud ones. Again, future promise not really can be attested right now because who are all the students that you're talking about? And how well is this going to represent them? This has to happen for us to judge if this is a fact. We go to student by student and ask them, were you represented or not? Make a study and then a test if this is a fact or not. But at the time being, it's still opinion. This or she will put effort into organizing the prom. The word effort here is relevant. How much effort is she going to put? Will we be with her to judge if this is her best effort or not? If this qualifies as her doing extra work or if this is just a regular work for her. This what makes this an opinion as well. We're done for today. Thank you very much for listening. Stay safe and keep up your good work.